So this is Robosoft Systems HVAC duct inspection and cleaning robot box, and these are the accessories. The first is this is a 30-meter cable which comes with the robot. This is the big brush and this is the small brush. Now we will open the box with the arrow indicating it. Now for completely opening on this side, you will have to stretch this handle out so that this comes out completely. Now we will have a look at all the accessories that comes with the robot. First is the video cable, then power cord for powering the robot. This is the DVR charger which will be used for charging the screen. This is the adapter for it to connect it to the power socket. This is the electric brush motor which we are using for cleaning the duct. So these are the extension cable. This is the USB cable for transferring data from the screen to the computer or a laptop. This is the communication IC which is used inside the robot in case some problem occurs. Then for safety we have given this. These are air whip system brackets. These two brass which you are seeing, these are for air whip pipe mounting, and this one is for just holding the linear motor on front side of the robot. This will be mounted on the front side of the robot. This is cable ties which are used for connecting or tying this 30-meter cable that we have given. This is the multimeter. Without battery it is, you will have to insert the battery in it. This is 10 mm spanner for tightening the lock nuts. This is the cable for the multimeter. And on this side we have the screen which comes with a 32 GB memory card. This case is used for protecting the screen. This is the PlayStation 2 joystick which we are using for maneuvering the robot. Then apart from this, we have some extra accessories which comes with the robot. These are a set of screws and nut. It has Allen key also. Allen keys and screws are there which are used inside the which are used on the chassis of the robot, as well as which are used on the other parts of the robot like the brackets which we are giving. So these are all for this. That's it from the top side. Then now we'll move on the inside of the box. This is the 1-degree movable brush system which has a top camera as well as the electric motor mounted on it. This is the linear actuator for lifting. We'll take this out. This is the dumbbell, and this is the wire hook which can be used for holding the robot. These are the 3-way air whip system, 3 sets. 3 different sets are given. Now we'll take out this. This is the power box which is used for controlling the robot. And this is the duct inspection robot base drive. That's it. So when you remove the robot from the box, and if you want to mount this movable brush system on the robot, then two things you'll have to keep in mind. First is, it is mandatory to place this bracket on the front side for the linear motor to rest on it, so that it acts as a support to it. So it is mandatory to use this thing. And also, when this linear actuator or 1 degree movable brush system is connected, it is compulsory that you use this dumbbell also on the back side. Without these two things, it is not recommended to use this system. Now we will be fixing this movable brush system on the robot. First we will be fixing this. This is on the front side. We'll have to match this. Once it is set, you can use the Allen keys. The bigger Allen key will be used to tight or loosen this all the 6 mm hex bolt. Now you'll have to make tight this type of screws such that it is flushed from the top. It is not on the top, it is flushed completely. If you can see, it is on it has gone beneath it. Now it is completely tight and flushed. Now we'll remove this screws. The top plate has a threading on top of it, so it can be removed once it is loosened. The screw which is used for this bracket is 6 x 30 mm, and now the screws which I will use, the screws which I have removed from the plate is 6 x 10 mm, and I recommend that same screws are placed in it when the movable brush system is not placed on the robot. Now for placing, after placing this also, the movable brush system, 6 mm screws are connected to it. So this plate has a total of 8 holes on it. So right now we will get only access to the 6 holes. This is below the motor, so we will not be able to get to see these 2 holes. So make sure this plate is tightened properly, so there is no gap between the top plate of the robot as well as this 1 degree movable system plate. As you can see, all the 6 screws have been tightened properly. 1 2 3 4 5 6. These 2 holes are open right now, but since there is no place, how can we put the screws in it? So once the robot is completely assembled, then we will show you how to connect the 2 screws on this side of the plate. Now this is a 3-pin connector which is coming from the linear actuator device, 1 degree system, the lifting system, which is connected to this. It also has a 3-pin connector. So we have connected it like it has a notch, U notch, if you can see on this side, if you can see. So I'll match this and it will go inside, and then you can tighten the lock. This connector is for the electric motor, and as you can see, it is a bit short in length, so we will require this extension to connect this to the bottom connector. But before that, you cannot place the dumbbell because we will wire it such that the dumbbell will be placed on top of the wire. So I'll be connecting this 2-pin connector to this extension and then again tighten the lock. Once this is done, if you can see, this connector can be connected on the lowest connector of the robot, which is the 2-pin. This connector is of 8-pin. Now this can be connected. This is for the wire hook. Again 6 x 10 mm screws are there. on the top plate when nothing is connected to it. So if you remove the dumbbell from this hole, then don't put this screw as it can damage the internal part of the robot. It is recommended you again place this 6x10 mm screws on the dumbbell holes. As you can see, this extension, how we have connected it so that it does not come out from this side. Also, it is well rested on the robot. Now this is a 8 pin connector which will be connected to the robot upside, and it will be connected to this third camera unit, similar to the U notch that we told in this type of connector. It will go inside and then you can tighten it. Now we will be connecting the big brush to this electric motor. So we will be giving two set of brushes. So when the 1 degree movable brush system, this system is mounted on top of the robot, then we will be using this brush. If you can see, it has a slot here which will match this slot. And then once it is matched and it is completely gone inside, then you can tighten this screw and the system is good to go. So this is the power box, which is powered by this power cord from this 230 volt AC supply. Then this joystick, it is connected to the power box on this slot. Then the 30-meter cable which will be connected from power box to the robot will be connected here, and this is the video signal output captured from the robot, which comes through the cable to this power box. It will be connected to this screen through this video cable. Now we'll be connecting this power cord to the robot. Now this screen, it comes with a 32 GB memory card, and how to connect the memory card to the screen, it is given outside of the screen as a symbol. Now press the power button for 3 to 4 seconds. The screen will turn on. Now when you receive the product, maybe the battery will be drained, so this indicator will blink. So you can use this USB charger to charge the screen. First up, when the screen is received, don't use it if the indicator is blinking. First charge the screen for 4 hours. And when the charger is properly connected, it will start charging the screen, the icon will stop blinking. Now it has a stand on the back side of the screen to rest it on any surface. Right now we'll be connecting it to the, placing it on the power box like this. Now this is the video cable. It is a 3.5 mm jack connector. So this 3.5 mm jack will be connected on this slot. And the video output we have marked it as video. It is the white cable which is carrying the video signal. We'll connect it to this. Should completely go inside. Now we'll connect the joystick. For showing it properly how to connect the joystick, I'll just remove this power cord. See, this is a kind of shape of the joystick, and it is flat, straight, completely straight on the top side. So you should match it with the silver. This strip coming on the top side should match this, and you should slowly insert it like this. It will go inside, no gap should be there. Then you can connect this. Now we will be connecting this 30-meter cable. Now if you can see to the 30-meter cable, it has a slot here. If you can see, the same slot is there on the connector which is there on the power box side, which is on the top side. So you just have to match this hollow slot here to this. Once it goes inside, just tighten it. Once it is completely tight, it will stop rotating. So it will not completely go inside, but 80 to 90%, if I can say, it will go inside and it will start moving after that. Now the other end of this cable, we'll be connecting it to the robot. If you can see, the same slot is there on this side also, and you'll have to match it. It will always be on the top side. You can match this. Once it goes inside completely, then you can hold the wire from here and then you can just tighten the thread. We'll turn on the power to the robot. Now this switch, if the power is coming properly to the robot, this switch will lit up, and by default the front camera, whatever it is capturing, it will be visible on the screen. Now whatever you see as an indication which is shown here, it's a memory card. Whatever memory is left, it is showing here. It will be showing that only, that how much memory is left. Now to control the robot, this is the joystick you get. This button is for forward, this is for back, this is for right, this is for left. Now we'll show you. Forward, back, right, left. Now this button, which I can say is R1 if you can see, when I press this button, whatever camera is visible on the screen, that camera, the LED intensity can be increased slowly using this button. Now if you can see, this is on the front camera, so the front camera intensity will increase, and using this R2 button, the LED intensity will decrease, if you can see. Now it is completely off. Again I can increase this. So this start button, if you can see, now the robot comes with 3 camera. One is on the front side, one is on the back side, and the third one is on the top side, which is on the movable brush system. If you can see, this is the third this box contains the third camera. Now if I want to switch the camera from front to back, I'll press this start button once. Now it is the back camera which is visible, if you can see. As I told you that this will act as an increasing intensity button, and this is the decreasing intensity button. So right now if the camera is back, again same function, intensity can be increased, and with this the intensity can be decreased. Now for the third camera, this button, if you press this button, it will show you the third camera, which is the top camera. Now if you can see, now the third camera, again same function, intensity can be increased, can be decreased. So this is the third camera. Now if I want to lift the 1 degree system, so as I have told you initially, what happened while we were setting this up, these holes, we were not getting access to this, so these hole screw were left open. Now we will be fixing these screws. So when this button is pressed, it will lift the 1 degree system. Now you can use this screws, 6x10. So if you can see, all the 8 screw of this plate is properly connected. Now it may happen sometimes that you will not be able to fix these 2 screws properly. So what you can do is just lose these 4 screws a little bit, so that the plate is a little bit movable, and then you can adjust the hole, and then you can use the Allen key to tighten these screws. Now as we were there, this is for lifting. When it is completely lifted, it will stop moving upward, it will cut off. Now this button, it will decrease the height of the robot, this thing 1 degree system. Again when it is cut off, it will stop coming down, nothing will happen. Okay, now this button L1, it will rotate the electric brush motor in one direction. It is also PWM control, and again this L2, it will rotate the brush in another direction. Now this button, if you press this button, now the camera which is visible, it will be third camera. If I can show you on the screen, for that I'll loosen this screw a little bit. So we'll be using the spanner and the Allen key to remove this screw, so that we can adjust the height of the robot. Now we can take it on the top side. And again tight this. Now you can see how the top camera view looks like. As I was talking about, when you press this button, the camera which is visible, it will be the top camera. But when you press, in that case, when you press this increase intensity button, 2 LEDs will glow. First is top camera LED will glow, as well as bottom, like the front camera LED will also glow. So using that, you can get more output in the duct. The light output will be more in the duct. Likewise, if you are seeing this, if I press this select button, the camera which will be there, it will be the front camera. But when I increase the intensity using this button, the top camera intensity as well as the front camera intensity, both will increase, and both intensity can be decreased simultaneously, but we'll get more output, light output inside the duct. So these are the functions of the button. Now to remove the electric motor, this system, from the robot, just use the Allen key. First remove the brush. Now these are hex bolt 5x10 mm for which are mounting this electric motor. We'll remove this 5x10 mm screws first. Make sure these are always very tight so that it does not cause, if it is loose, motor will vibrate. So because make sure it is properly tightened when the system is operating with brushes. Now this motor can be removed. Just see if the camera is there on the back side, see to it properly and then remove the motor so that this motor does not hurt the camera and damage it. Now place it on the surface. Slowly you can remove this extension from here. This motor will be completely removed. Now we'll be removing this plate. So this is 6x10 mm button head screw we have used here. Now we have not used this 6x10 mm hex bolt, so we recommend using this button head screws only, because this height of the screw just touches the surface of this. So because of that consideration, we recommend using this 6x10 button head screws. Now we will be removing this, and if you can see here, we are using the extreme screws, like so that the plate comes a little bit more forward and the brush can touch the surface more easily. So because of this we are using the extreme screws. These holes were used. For removing this 1 degree movable brush system from the robot, we have to remove 8 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you remove 8 screws, this complete assembly will be completely removed. And also don't touch these screws, these screws joints. Don't touch any of these joints, because it will disturb the assembly. So that is why for removing this, only 8 screw removal is recommended. Now first we will be removing these 2 screws, as it is not easy to get below these screws using the Allen key. We'll power on the system. And use the joystick, and through this cable give the command to this motor to move a little bit up, so that we remove these 2 screws. Now out of the 8 screws, if you can see, I have removed 2 screws. Now we'll make the system go completely down and touch this. Now after removing these 2 screws, we'll first remove all the cables. So before that we'll just power off the robot. So when the system is power off, remove the cable. all the 6 screws. If you are not getting access to lose these 2 screws, you can remove the dumbbell and then you can remove the screws. As I am able to remove it, now if this system is removed, it is recommended, if you are using the robot without the top system and these holes are open, please close using all the holes using 6 cross 10 mm screws. The dumbbell holes also 6 cross 10 mm screws. No screw should be longer than 6 cross 10 mm. If you are operating in a smaller duct and if you want to remove this bracket, you can remove this. And connect 6 cross 10 mm. All the screw holes should be closed so that no dust can go inside the robot. For mounting the electric brush motor on the robot, we'll be removing 8 screws starting from the front. Eight screws are removed. Now we will align it on the extreme edge, and holes which we will be matching is alternate holes, first and third. I'll keep it in front, and if you can see, this hole will have to adjust the plate such that the hole gets covered and dust cannot go inside. So we will adjust it by taking it a little back, and if you can see right now, the holes which this hole is completely covered and all the other holes are also covered. Now we will be using the button head screws. 4 screws will be used. When this system was used with the 1-degree brush system, this mounting hole was used, but right now when it is used on the robot, these oval hole slot holes 4 will be used. Now we'll have to make sure that holes gets covered and no dust can go inside. You can see I've covered all the holes, no signs of holes which are open we can see. Now we'll be connecting the motor. When we connect the motor on the bottom assembly, as well as if we are talking on the 1-degree brush system, the top assembly also, we'll have to make sure that this cable is always on the bottom, and that too, if we are talking on the bottom, that too it should be on the right side, because the connector which is giving power for the motor to run is on the right side. So we will have to make sure that this is always on the right side. Now we will use 5x10 mm screws. Be connecting this smaller brush. If you can see, this is the slot, and this slot is also there on the brush connector. Now you can tighten this screw. tight it properly. And now whenever any brush motor kind of thing is used on the robot, you connect the dumbbell on the back of the robot. Make sure this wire comes from below the dumbbell. Below, when I am talking about, is through this slot. And then this is a 2-pin connector. It will be connected on the lower side of the robot. Removing the electric motor system from the robot. Remove the dumbbell. Remove the brush. Then remove the 4 mounting holes for the motor. Remove this mounting holes for the plates. Covering all the screws. It is compulsory to cover all the screws so that when you are operating the robot, no dust can go inside.